According to a major study, 70.4% of people struggling with THC addiction will relapse in order to alleviate THC withdrawal symptoms. The purpose of today's video is to review the top 10 withdrawal symptoms from THC, explain to you guys why these things occur, and then provide you with some tips and tricks to help prevent that relapse from happening. If you're new to the channel, my name is Dr. Frank. I'm the founder of AddictionMindset Recovery Coaching Programs, where we help people quit nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy today's video. So let's jump right into it. The number one withdrawal symptom that people experience when they're going through THC withdrawal is insomnia. I remember when I was first quitting, I was up for 3 to 4 days straight, and then I just crashed after that, totally burned out. The insomnia was by far one of the most annoying withdrawal symptoms. Insomnia is particularly dangerous because when you're sleep deprived and you have a lack of sleep, it's proven that your willpower also goes down, and this makes you much more susceptible to giving into those cravings or those moments where you want to relapse. Symptom number 2 of THC withdrawal that you're probably going to experience is sweating. Again, I remember when I was first quitting, I was soaking through my undershirts and my feet were sweating, my hands were sweating, my whole body was just constantly clammy. This is your body trying to detox any of that THC that's still circulating in your system. And remember, THC impacts your endocannabinoid system, which plays a large role in body temperature regulation. So it's not unusual that you're going to see a pretty excessive sweating response when you first quit. The third symptom of THC withdrawal is cravings. Cravings are very common when you're first quitting THC because you're probably under the impression that you're depriving yourself of something, that you're giving something up. Cravings also make a person particularly susceptible to relapse. Symptom number 4 is irritability and mood changes. For most people, this resembles or comes out in the form of anger. We tend to grow really frustrated really quickly, especially to those people who we are closest with. Our parents, someone that we're in a relationship with, a coworker, whoever it may be. So I always tell people, if you're comfortable telling others that you're coming off of this substance, you might want to make them aware so they can be prepared and gain a better understanding as to why you're lashing out. The other thing that goes along with irritability and mood changes is that feeling of restlessness or a complete loss of concentration and focus. Many people describe this as brain fog. So be ready for that. Symptom number 5, nausea. Your endocannabinoid system greatly regulates your digestive system, and that includes feelings of nausea. A lot of people, when they first start quitting cannabis, are actually unable to eat food and experience decreased appetite in the first few days or the first few weeks due to this intense feeling of nausea. Symptom number 6 kind of goes hand in hand with nausea and involves constipation and or diarrhea. Here at our offices, we've seen clients struggling with both situations when they first start quitting THC products. And I'm going to give you guys some solutions in a little bit to each of these problems. Symptom number 7 that you can anticipate is increased anxiety or increased feelings of depression. This is very common, especially when you're quitting THC products, because again, your endocannabinoid system regulates feelings of anxiety and mood control. So don't be surprised if you're anxious or depressed. These feelings of anxiousness and depression are often heightened by your cravings. Here you are craving a substance. You're not giving your body that substance. You're experiencing withdrawal symptoms. So of course, in the beginning, you're going to have some feelings of heightened anxiety and perhaps even depression. Symptom number 8, decreased appetite. As I mentioned earlier. Symptom number 9, flu-like symptoms. This can include sweating, a slightly increased body temperature, but of course, make sure you don't have COVID. Always talk to your doctor. Muscle pain, bone pain, and joint pain. But just like the flu, you're sick. When you're quitting an addiction, whether it's THC, alcohol, whatever it may be, your body is detoxing. You're not going to feel good. And I promise this too will pass. On an aside, if you're detoxing from alcohol, go to a medically supervised clinic because that can be deadly. Symptom number 10, boredom. This isn't really a symptom of THC withdrawal, but I think it's worth mention. You're giving up something that was probably consuming a large part of your day, and you're probably going to find yourself not knowing what to do with your time, not knowing what to do with this newfound sobriety. And I think it's really important that we start to fill in those gaps during our day where we're potentially stand to be bored, because when you get bored, you might be inclined to relapse. Now, the next question naturally becomes, how long is this going to last? Well, most symptoms of THC withdrawal are going to subside somewhere after about 4 weeks. It's been shown in studies that it takes about 4 weeks for the cannabinoid receptors in your body that THC binds to return to normal levels. For most individuals, the peak withdrawals are going to taper off after about a 2-week period, and the peak withdrawal symptoms are going to climax somewhere between the first 3 to 5 days. So for those of you guys who are new to quitting THC, expect days 3 to 5 to be the most challenging. I don't want you to be thrown off guard. Now, if I forgot anything, or if you've quit THC before and I didn't list those symptoms, please leave them in the comments below and let other people in our community know how you managed those symptoms, because that's the whole purpose of this channel, helping each other out. Now, with that being said, I do have some tips and tricks for you guys to navigate each of these symptoms. When it comes to insomnia, my best advice is just getting through the insomnia. I don't think that there's a lot that you can do. In the past, I would tell people don't use melatonin, don't use supplements, just let your body detox and get through it. But if you must, talk to your doctor about using a low-strength melatonin, 1 milligram or less, or utilizing a ZMA supplement, which is zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B6 prior to bedtime. Magnesium is also a great supplement that can help with sleep. There's a product out there on the market called Calm, C-A-L-M. It's a magnesium powder, but just be careful because sometimes that can lead to increased stomach upset or increased chances of diarrhea. But the insomnia, in my honest opinion, you just have to get through it. The sweating, take showers, take hot showers, take cold showers. Don't let it get to you. And in fact, I would encourage you to just embrace the sweating. And this is just one of those parts of the detox process that you just cannot get frustrated over. It's inevitable. When it comes to the irritability and the mood changes, I have a piece of advice for you. If you find yourself lashing out at loved ones or family members or people that you're close to, when you apologize to them, take a moment, and when you say, I'm sorry, be very clear on what it is you're sorry for. I'm sorry for getting upset that the dishes were not done. I'm sorry that I was acting irrationally about you parking my car on the wrong side of the driveway. I don't know what it is you're getting mad about or what you're snapping about. But by saying it out loud and regurgitating back what it is that you're actually sorry for and what it is you did wrong, you're going to be able to easily identify when you're headed down that path again in the future. So just pause, take a second, and think about what you say before you say it, especially in the early stages of THC withdrawal. When it comes to the nausea, again, this is one of those things that I think can be best managed with nutrition. You want to try and avoid foods that make you sick. When it comes to THC withdrawal, I recommend avoiding alcohol, nicotine, and caffeine. All of these things have different impacts on our body, and I don't think now is a good time to be introducing these potential toxins to your body. So avoid those. That will also help with the insomnia and the irritability by getting those things out of your diet, out of your lifestyle. And I would recommend focusing on foods like fruits and vegetables. Fruits are a great food to focus on, especially if you have a decreased appetite. When you eat fruit, things like strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, bananas, plantains, not only are you getting a bunch of micronutrients from the fruits, and listen, on an aside, a lot of people who are quitting THC, if they've been heavy into this addiction, chances are they're suffering from a form of malnutrition. So reclaiming those micro and macronutrients is crucial. Nutrition is so important. So focusing on fruits is great because it also creates a little bit of a blood sugar spike, which is going to increase your insulin levels, which is going to increase your appetite and your feelings of hunger. So I always recommend focusing on eating a lot of fruits when you're quitting THC, and get vegetables in where you can. Hard-boiled eggs, grass-fed meats, your tuber vegetables like yams and sweet potatoes. These are all great sources of nutrients. And at the same time, you're now getting rid of all the junk, all the sugars and all the high fructose corn syrup and all the, really unhealthy fats and fried foods. When you're focusing on nutrition when it comes to THC withdrawal, think plain Jane. You don't want to go heavy on creams and spices and sauces because that's probably going to lead to a lot more nausea. Plain white rice with salt and pepper. Plain chicken with maybe a little bit of seasoning. Think plain is better when you're first quitting THC products. You really want to try your best to focus on sleep. Try and get sleep whenever you can. The more sleep you get, the more chances you're going to give your body to heal and recover. And you're also going to reclaim some of that willpower and some of that mindset that you need to see your quitting journey through. Low to moderate exercise is also a great idea, and this is also a great activity to fill in those periods of boredom, but I say this with a word of caution when it comes to THC withdrawal. When you're going through THC withdrawal, when you break down fat, if you're not eating or if you're exercising too much, your body, those fat cells, are going to start releasing stored THC, and that might actually lead to a flare-up of THC withdrawal symptoms or feelings of brain fog or just kind of, loss of focus. So don't be surprised if you overdo the exercise or you starve yourself and you start feeling really crappy, because chances are those fat cells in your body are starting to break down and release more THC into your system. But low to moderate exercise is a great option because it's going to help release dopamine and it's going to help release serotonin. And don't get frustrated with yourself. If that means going for a walk instead of hitting the gym to lift heavy weights, let it be. It is what it is. Your body's healing and recovering. You don't need to go balls to the wall right now. You need to rest and recover. And then my last tip when it comes to overcoming THC withdrawal symptoms is seeking support, talk therapy, and accountability. This can be from family members, close friends, coworkers, anyone who you trust, and anyone who's just willing to listen to you talk and work this out with you. Now, of course, you can seek professional help. I myself run an addiction coaching company where we actually help people come up with plans to get through the withdrawals and, enter and have the best sobriety and recovery process possible. But it doesn't have to be from an addiction coach or a therapist. Just speaking to family members or anyone else that you trust is a great place to start. Guys, I hope this helps you out. I know for me personally, if I knew what to expect when I was quitting THC products and I had a plan, or I was able to start to develop a plan prior to quitting, I think I would have had much less chances of relapse, and I think I would have had a much easier time in my sobriety and recovery journey. Again, let us know in the comments what you've experienced and what things have helped you. We're here on this Addiction Mindset community to support one another and help one another have the easiest and most pleasurable recovery process possible. Follow me into the next video where I talk a little bit about THC consumption and mental health issues. I'll see you guys there.